Starts, huh? It starts now. Hi, and welcome to the Sunday Live session. This is Michael Rony Mullick, and you're watching the Sunday Live session where we discuss about the things that has happened in the market in the past week and going forward in the next week. What are the things that we can expect from the markets? So, without further ado, let's get right into the show. Obviously, the major events to look back in the past week was the Fed interest rate hike coupled with the Indian repo rate hike. Both of these has been an absolute disaster in the markets. Counting the points of Nifty, it is around from Monday to Friday, it is around 700 points down. And if you look at last Friday to this Friday, the market is almost at a 1,000 point down from the Fridays last Friday to this Friday. And as we have discussed, there were only 4 trading sessions. So on an average, Nifty fell 250 points in the last 4 days. Now, can you imagine a major index falling 250 points on a regular basis? So this is something absolutely disastrous for the market. No wonder there is absolute bloodbath everywhere. People are losing huge amounts of money across the globe. It's not just India, it is across all global markets. Things are at a very, very bearish sentiment right now. Looking into the FII DII activity, the FII have been continuing their selling streak, selling about 12,000 crores in the last week, and DIIs have been trying to support the market, almost matching the FII selling figures, but still the markets seems to be in a very, very bearish mode. One more important thing in the last week was the after Friday market hours, we had the Reliance Industries results. Now, as we discussed in the post-market show last day, the Reliance results were actually good, but apparently the street was expecting much better result from Reliance, and that can be directly seen in the Reliance GDR. Reliance GDR is Reliance which trades in the London Stock Exchange. So over there, things have not been looking good. Reliance, as you can see on my screen, the Reliance is down almost 2.5%. So obviously the markets are not happy with the Reliance results, and this 2.5% down from Reliance can have a rippling effect on the markets when we open tomorrow at 9:15 a.m. So Reliance, it's a major Nifty heavyweight stock, and that can have a major effect on the entire index if this 2.5% down, and obviously we will be opening up with again a very, very bearish sentiment unless and until something good happens in the market tomorrow. And so we'll be looking keenly at the US futures and also the Asian markets just before opening of our market in the morning. So for that, we will be checking the pre-market show to get a hold of the sentiments of the global markets. Now coming to SGX Nifty, we see that the SGX Nifty has been trading, and we see SGX Nifty showing a low of around 16,250 level, but thankfully after the US markets recovered towards the end, our markets, the SGX Nifty also recovered, and it closed around 16,364, so which is still around 56 points down from our closing. So we're going to have to see what happens going forward. Now, if you look at the major highlights, the bearish sentiment continues across the globe, and we are seeing the FII selling continue. The USD INR has been depreciating on a continuous basis. It is down almost, we had rupee USD INR hitting around 77 rupees on Friday. So that's not good. Also, China, Hong Kong markets are very volatile owing to the China lockdown. The Russia-Ukraine problem continues without any solution coming from that end. The important another thing to look at is the FII long position. The foreign institutional investor long position is at a low of just 22%, which means they are short 78% in the index, which means they have huge short positions, and any good news coming from any of the fronts can lead to a major short covering rally, which means they will be covering their shorts, which can propel the markets even higher. So something like the day we remember the HDFC and HDFC Bank merger news came, the market shot up hugely. Both the stocks shot up around 10 to 15%, and we had seen Nifty going up to 18,200 levels in a very short amount of time. So something like that can only change the sentiment of the market at the moment. Otherwise, things are looking really bad, but there is still hope for the long-term investment. So now this is when everything looks bad, it is the time to invest for the long term. Now people looking to invest in the long term can go long around 25% of the portfolio. They can, if they have in their savings, they can look to invest in the good quality stocks, because most of them are considerably down from the almost 20 to 30% or even more from their recent top. So you can consider investing 25% of the money now, and again if the market falls around 10 to 15% more, you can look to further invest money into these good quality stocks. And coming to the sector wise review, the only sector that is holding firmly is the FMCG sector, and the ITC shareholders are must be very happy. So markets have been going all over the places, but ITC is still holding strong at around 266 levels. So obviously it's a defensive sector, and this has been the past history of the sector. When everything looks very bad, these FMCG sectors keep holding the markets. Now looking to the next week, what we can expect is on the top side, on the upside, we can have 16,800 as a major resistance level in Nifty, because it was the last support when market was about 16,800. Markets have fallen and reversed back multiple times from the 16,800 levels, which makes it a major resistance level once the market is below 16,800. So looking for long positions only if the market is firmly closing on a daily candle above 16,800, we can look for long positions, because that is again a major resistance level. And looking towards the major supports, towards the downside, we have 16,000. Obviously it's a round figure resistance, round figure support. So 16,000 level, so 500 level, the 1,000 levels, these are act as a psychological supports and resistance levels. So, and also the OI, the open interest, also confirms the same. We have a huge open interest build up at 16,000 levels towards downside, and if that is also crossed, what we can expect is, as you can see in the charts, we can have Nifty going towards the low of 15,700, which was the low made during the panic selling during the Ukraine-Russia problem. So that is what we can expect in the downside. So 16,000 level, and then 15,700 level is what we can expect from the markets on the downside. And if that is broken, we can have a major fall in the index. So again, that time you can consider going into the investment, looking into increasing your investment portfolio. So that was the levels to look out for the next week, and obviously the major events that are coming next week. There are two of them. The first is the US consumer price inflation, the CPI, which will be announced on Wednesday evening. So the impact of that can be felt only in the Thursday morning when we open up for the expiry day. So owing to expiry and also the US inflation data, the markets will be either opening gap up or gap down, because markets seem to be reacting very highly to these data coming from the US. So it will be very interesting to watch the US inflation in the coming week. And also, as the results season is going on, we have major stocks which will be coming up with the results. They are Eicher Motors, Tata Motor, L&T, Asian Paints, and again a very important SBI. So State Bank of India is coming up with the results as well, which can have an impact on Bank Nifty. Now, the last earnings season, it was the SBI results which had changed the mood of the markets and set it on a bullish path. So let us hope the SBI results can make the markets turn direction this time as well. So we will be keenly watching these stocks and the results and how the market reacts to them. So that brings us to the end of this Sunday live session. And for further update and how the markets will open up, we will be looking at the pre-market show tomorrow to have an idea of what kind of trade ideas and what kind of levels we are looking at tomorrow based on the opening of the Asian markets and the US markets. So that's it from my side. Hope you are having a good weekend, and let's catch you up with you tomorrow for the pre-market show. Thank you, everyone.